New Zealand loses Manuka honey trademark battle. Manuka honey is famous for its quality. European honeybees drink the nectar of the Manuka tree to make it. This tree grows in New Zealand and in some parts of Australia. For over a decade, these two countries have battled over Manuka honey. New Zealand wanted to trademark it, so only New Zealand beekeepers could use the word Manuka. However, Australia said it also produced the honey. The Intellectual Property Office of New Zealand decided that no one could trademark the word Manuka. This means Australian beekeepers can use the word. The word Manuka is from the Maori language. New Zealand said because of this, no other country could use the word for honey. New Zealand's Manuka beekeepers said the trademark decision was disappointing. They will continue to fight to protect their honey. In Australia, the Manuka tree is called the tea tree. Australia's beekeepers said they were delighted with the decision. They said, "Our product has a long history of being known as Manuka honey. It is produced like the New Zealand product is, and it also offers the health benefits that consumers value so highly." Smiling lessons in Japan after years of mask wearing. Many people have not stopped wearing masks. In Japan, many people still wear them. Some of those who have gone maskless are having lessons in how to smile. Some people say they have forgotten how to smile naturally because they had a face covering for 3 years. They are taking smiling lessons to relearn how to smile with confidence. Smile coach Keiko Kawano from a smile education company spoke about her work. She said people smiled less because of masks, so they developed a complex. She wants people to smile for their mental well-being. Smile coaches in Japan are busy. A survey by Libor Research found that 28% of company workers in their 20s to 50s wear masks. Just over 2/3 said they wear a mask depending on the situation. Only 5.5% said they stopped wearing a mask. Ms. Kawano has coached 4,000 people in the art of smiling. She has also trained hundreds of smile specialists. She said, "Smiling makes a good impression on others and helps communication. It also has the effect of making yourself feel more positive." She said, "Moving and relaxing the facial muscles is the key to a good smile." Your soap might mean mosquitoes bite you more. Mosquitoes like some people more than others. Scientists in the USA found that different body smells attract mosquitoes. This includes our natural body odour and smells from soaps. Some of these smells could reduce the number of bites we get in the summer. The researchers said mosquitoes preferred soap with a flowery smell. More than 60% of the smells coming from our body come from soap. Changing the soap we use could stop us being attractive to mosquitoes. Soap with no smell could make us less tasty to mosquitoes. The researchers tested 4 popular brands of soap on mosquitoes. They also tested the smell of people when they did not wash themselves. The researchers put the soapy and unwashed smells in 2 different cups in a cage full of mosquitoes. The insects preferred the soapy smells. Mosquitoes are like humans because they like flowery and fruity smells. One researcher said coconut-scented soap is best to keep mosquitoes away. Mosquitoes are the world's deadliest creatures. The diseases they carry kill 725,000 people a year. Switzerland imports more cheese than it exports. Switzerland is a country famous for producing cheese. However, it is now importing more cheese than it exports for the first time. The reason is that Switzerland opened up its milk market. Other countries can sell milk in Switzerland. This means it is difficult for Swiss farmers to compete with cheaper imported milk. Many dairy farmers have given up because they cannot make a profit. This has decreased the quantity of cheese made in Switzerland. The Swiss Dairy Association said the country can now only make enough cheese for its own population. Swiss cheese is well known for its high quality. It is often on the menu of restaurants worldwide. However, restaurants and supermarkets are replacing Swiss cheeses with those from other countries. Even though Switzerland is exporting less cheese, the Swiss are still big cheese eaters. They are eating more cheese than ever. Swiss people ate an average of 22.9 kilograms per person last year. A dairy farmer was sad to see dairy farms disappearing. She said, "Cheese is a big part of life in Switzerland. We need our farms and cheese." UN says extreme heat is the new normal. The United Nations has warned that extreme heat is the new normal. Climate change is causing more heat waves and making them longer and hotter. Many countries have had record hot weather in the past week. In parts of the USA and China, the mercury went over 50 degrees C. In Death Valley, California, it was 53.9 degrees C, and in Xinjiang, China, it got up to 52.2 degrees C. European countries and Japan have issued heat alerts. They asked people to stay in the shade and drink plenty of water. The UN warned the heat waves could continue for another month. The UN warned of the need to cut greenhouse gas emissions. It said heat waves are happening more often, and this is having a major impact on human health and water supplies. It added that more work is needed to help society adapt to what is unfortunately becoming the new normal. The heat is making holidaymakers change their travel plans. People are choosing to holiday in cooler countries. A woman who tried to escape the heat by going to Rome complained that the Italian capital was hotter than her hometown in Texas. Barbie the movie breaks box office records. The movie Barbie is the biggest film of the year. It has broken box office records. One of these is making the most money for a non-superhero movie. Ticket sales worldwide were over $356 million. Barbie also made the most money for a movie made by a female director. It was directed by Greta Gerwig. She also directed the indie films Lady Bird and Little Women. She also co-wrote Barbie. There will be sequels to the movie, so fans should get ready for Barbie 2 and Barbie 3. There may also be a movie that focuses on Barbie's friend Ken. Barbie started as a fashion doll created by American businesswoman Ruth Handler. The toy company Mattel launched the doll in 1959. It became one of the best-selling toys ever made, selling over 1 billion dolls worldwide. Since the 1980s, Barbie has starred in video games, animated movies, and TV series. In Gerwig's film, Barbie leaves her near-perfect animated world of Barbie Land to live in the human world. Movie experts say it is refreshing that Barbie is so original. Many people are getting tired of the endless releases of superhero films. half the world to develop mental health disorder. A study has found that more people are experiencing mental health problems. Researchers found that half of us will have at least one mental health disorder by the age of 75. The lead author of the study said the most common problems were mood disorders like depression or anxiety. He added that the risk of disorders differed between men and women. The three most common mental health disorders for women were depression, phobias that make daily life more difficult, and PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Men suffered most from alcohol abuse, depression, and phobias. The researchers looked at 32 mental health surveys from the WHO. Over 156,000 people in 29 countries answered questions about their mental well-being. The researchers found out when mental health problems first started in people. They also looked at the risk of getting different mental disorders. These included panic attacks, drug abuse, and ADHD. An important finding was that mental disorders appeared a lot in children. Young people need more help with their lives. They need services that find and treat their mental health problems. Raw sewage keeps swimmers away from UK beaches. The UK is experiencing Poonami, a sewage crisis. Greenpeace said water companies poured toilet waste into rivers and seas for more than 300,000 hours in 2022. Many people got sick after swimming in the sea. Others complained about the terrible smell on beaches or the brown colour of the water. A research company conducted a poll about people's opinions on water quality. A quarter of swimmers said they might not swim in the sea because of health risks. Last week, 57 people got diarrhea in the UK after swimming in the sea at a World Triathlon Championship. England and Wales are the only countries to have privatised their water services. They sold their water to private companies in 1987. These companies promised to spend billions of pounds to make services better. However, things have become much worse. The companies have not invested enough money. They have not stopped leaks or modernised systems. Since 1991, they have paid over $2 billion a year to their shareholders. A water campaigner said the water companies have failed to create a quality system. He blamed the UK government for not acting. Walking 4,000 steps a day linked to longer life. Many people monitor how many steps they walk every day. Research suggests that 10,000 steps a day is enough for us to stay healthy and live longer. A new study says just 4,000 steps a day could be enough for us to live to an old age. Researchers analysed 17 studies that looked at how far people walked during the week. They concluded that 4,000 steps per day lowered the risk of dying from diabetes, heart diseases, and other life-threatening conditions. The study said 4,000 steps is the same as a 30 to 45-minute walk, or about 3 to 4 kilometres. The study is published in a cardiology journal. Researchers looked at exercise data from 225,000 adults worldwide over 7 years. The adults had an average age of 64 and had different levels of health. The lead researcher said 4,000 steps was enough, but it wasn't a magical number. He added that the more steps you take, the better. He also said walking an additional 1,000 steps could lead to a roughly 15% lower risk of premature death. The researcher said people should add at least one walk to their daily routine. Japan releases Fukushima water into the ocean. Japan is releasing radioactive water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant into the ocean. Fukushima was hit by a huge earthquake and tsunami in 2011. The power plant was badly damaged, so the power company stored radioactive water in 1,000 giant tanks. It is now being released into the ocean through a long tunnel. Japan stated that the water is safe and would not harm the environment. The International Atomic Energy Agency said the water meets international safety standards. It said the water would cause no harm to people. Countries near Japan are angry that the water is going into the Pacific. Japanese fishermen are also worried about selling their fish. China has banned seafood from Fukushima and the capital city Tokyo. China said the release of the water was wrong. It asked Japan to stop. It said, Japan is putting its own self-interest over the long-term well-being of all humankind. Hong Kong is worried about food safety. It will stop importing some Japanese food. South Korean activists have also protested. However, Seoul said the water meets international standards. Researchers find best temperature for sleeping well. The key for older people to sleep well could be how hot or cold their room is. Researchers say the best way to sleep well is for the bedroom to be between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. The researchers are from Harvard University and an Institute for Aging Research. They asked 50 people aged 65 and older to wear a sleep monitor for 18 months. The people's quality of sleep worsened when their room temperature was outside the 20 to 25 degree range. Researchers say 20 degrees C is the best temperature. They said, sleep tends to come easier and is often deeper in a cooler environment. The research is full of information. Temperature could affect sleep as much as having pain or drinking alcohol. The researchers found a 5 to 10% drop in sleep quality when it was lower than 20 degrees C or higher than 25 degrees C. Poor sleep can lead to health issues like an inability to think clearly, mood swings, and stress. Other problems include an increased risk of getting diabetes and heart disease. The researchers said people should create a more comfortable home environment to sleep well. They also said climate change could affect sleep quality. Store staff get body cameras to protect themselves. Supermarket staff in the UK will wear body cameras to protect themselves from attacks. More staff are being punched or threatened with knives by customers. Many sales assistants and checkout staff are afraid. They are stressed and worried about their safety. The UK's largest supermarket is offering its staff body cameras. It said the number of attacks on its workers has risen by a third in a year. More than 200 of its workers are victims of serious physical attacks each month. Thousands more are shouted at and verbally abused every day. Newspapers say attacks on supermarket staff are a sign that Britain is broken. There is a huge rise in antisocial behaviour in Britain. A survey published in a newspaper showed that 72% of voters think the UK is broken. A supermarket CEO said his company has spent $55 million on keeping his staff safe. There has also been a big increase in shoplifting. These two problems mean higher prices. The CEO wants new laws for people who attack staff.